Alright, I've installed that new coil. There it is. And I've also made a little bracket. I don't know if you can see it, but it makes it so that it's not laying that way with oil coming out of it. It's standing up and kind of leaning back. Let me show you that bracket. Just out of some bits of metal I had laying about. There you can see I used this kind of clamp to clamp it around, and then there's this bracket here that keeps it, you know, off the intake a little bit more. So we'll see what happens. Let's see if it starts. Will it run? That's the question. Start on the button. All right, let's see what happens, shall we? Then it's dying again. Still slowly dying at the side of the road. How annoying. I don't know what it is. Yep, died. Maybe give it some. Oh, it will die on its face. And then it will die completely, which it just has. So I've got no power steering now. No power steering. Ah. Oh. Don't hit the bug, don't hit the bug, don't hit the bug. I nearly hit the bug. Wow. Yeah, I think there's some carb stuff to do now, which is not that's not what I'm very good at. Well, I'm not very good at anything, but carb stuff even more. So we're just ticking boxes to try and get to the bottom of why this thing is running like it is. Next thing I'm gonna take, there it is, the carburetor off and clean it and check a few things and see if there's anything gumming it up. That's the next thing I can do without spending a bunch of money. So we'll get into that now. So this is the carburetor that I have on this car. Lots of people like it, lots of people hate it. Right now I hate it because it doesn't run right, but it doesn't mean it's the carb. So like I said, we'll take it apart, see what we can see. Hopefully there'll just be some crap in there that's blocking some stuff. Probably not. Okay, so there's a vacuum line right there that has to come off. There's these two wires that go to the choke, and then this main fuel line, and then the throttle cable and the kick down cable and the return spring, and then 4 bolts. Okay, I did watch a video from a guy on YouTube who said that these have a really small rubber hose inside them, really small, like this long, black rubber hose, and they can fail or come off or something like that. So let's have a look. There's the hose, and look, it's broken, just like he said. How about that? Well, so now we have to find a little tube that goes from there to there and doesn't fail like the one from Holley does. We're just cruising down to Automone or O'Reilly's down in Main Street, see what those bumper clarts have got with regards to that tubing. Probably nothing, but we will see. All right, those Ross holes at O'Reilly's had some hose that's gonna work. How cool is that? So the only issue I see with this is when this flips around and goes in there, this hose that I bought has to go through this gap here. It has to sit kind of like that, so it's going to hang up a bit on that, and it might pop off, but I'm going to try it. Here it goes. Do the same thing as before. We'll just buzz up this little tiny part of the road because you never know, do you? I adjusted the throttle cable too, because it was a little bit kind of felt slack. There we go. There's your answer right there. Well, that's annoying. And there's a couple more adjustments that I can make on this. So this is the accelerator pump, and if you can see the middle setting that it's on, the one above it is more fuel, the one below it is less fuel that the accelerator pump jets in here. So I'm just gonna play with that. And then I think what we're getting down to now is rejetting the secondaries, and that means buying a kit, which is some money. So we've exhausted all forms of adjustment, and we're now looking at rejetting the carb, which means buying a calibration kit from Holley, which isn't cheap. It's not too bad, it's 145 bucks. So I'm gonna have to do that, and then one day in the evening next week, Clyde's gonna buzz over here and we will do some thinking and a stinking, try and get this pig to run good. But every adjustment I've made this weekend has helped. It's just not, you know, perfect. Bye.